Hi boys and girls, it's Miss White here, and today we are going to be starting on our phonics lesson 1. Here's the sheet for it. It says there's a 1 up here in the corner, and then this is the back side. We're going to start with this side where we have a picture of a nest right here. Alright, first we're going to get started with our alphabet strip. These are our alphabet strips. You might have one at home or in your classroom, and you can use that to follow along as we go, or you can look at mine. So our alphabet handwriting strips are the letters that we use when we write words. So we can use this to reference when we're sounding words out and trying to write words. There's 2 kinds of letters that make up the alphabet. They are vowels and consonants. The vowels are A, E, I, O, and U. Did you notice that the vowels are written in red? Here, if you look close, you can see. The other letters are written in black. Do you know what those are? Those are called consonants. When we read from left to right, and that's how your alphabet strip is done. We have the left over here and right over here. The letters on our strip start left to right, so let's start on the left and point to the letter and say its name with me. I'm going to push this up closer so you can see a little bit better. We have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Good job. So next, I'm going to say some words that start with the same sound, and I want you to tell me if you can hear the sound that comes at the beginning of those words. Lollipop, lemon, and lost. So listen. Lollipop, lemon, and lost. What sound do you hear at the beginning of all of those words? Oh, good job. All right, next we're going to practice with a few more words, and you're going to do the same thing. Table, two, timber. What sounds are you hearing there? Table, two, timber. That's right, the t sound. Next we have no, 9, and nifty. We hear the n sound. Next we have paper, petunia, and people. We hear the p sound. All right, our last one is zipper, zoo, and 0. We hear the z sound. All right. Next we're going to practice, or we're going to talk about capital and lowercase letters. When you write a name, we're just going to use the example in here, the name Kim Jones. We're using a capital letter. That K is a capital letter, and the J is a capital letter. We use capital letters at the beginning of names and at the beginning of sentences, or famous, or proper nouns. So a name of a city and things like that. So each letter has a capital letter version of it and a lowercase letter. So the lowercase K is like that. It's pretty similar, but it's a little smaller. Same thing for the J. That's our lowercase j. So each letter has a capital and a lowercase, and as we learn these different letters, we're going to talk about and practice writing the capital version and the lowercase version so that you learn both as we go along. All right, next, have you ever heard of an echo? Do you know what an echo is? Sometimes if you've been to the mountains and you yell out, hello, in the mountains will talk back to you. They'll echo what you said and they'll say, hello. So As we're learning these words and doing different things, I'm going to ask you to echo me. So when I ask you to echo me, I'm going to say a word, I'm going to point to you like this, and or maybe like this, and I want you to repeat what I have said. Does everybody understand that? All right, so we're going to start right now. I'm going to say note, and I want you to say note and echo me. Numb, numb. Nip, nip. What sound are you hearing in the beginning of that, the initial sound? You hear the n. So n is the initial sound. When you're saying a word, or when you're saying a sound, and you feel in your throat, we're going to talk about if we feel a vibration in our throat when we say that letter sound. So we have n. When you feel your throat, n, you can feel it in your throat. It's vibrating. We call that a voiced letter. And then if you didn't feel the vibration, we would call that an unvoiced letter. But we'll talk about unvoiced letters when we come to those letters. I don't want to confuse you right now. Next, I'm going to write some words on the board. We have not, nap, and net. Do you see what letter might be making that n sound? Does anyone recognize the letter? Here it is. It's an N. Very good. If we look at our handwriting strip, can we figure out if N is a consonant or a vowel? Remember how we talked about vowels are in red and consonants are in black. So here's our N, right here, and it's in black. So N is a consonant. You've got it. All right, let's practice writing N's. We're going to skywrite. If you haven't done any skywriting yet, the way that we do it, I'm going to scoot back, is we point our hand out straight. We don't have a bent elbow, we have a straight elbow, and we're writing big letters in the sky. So for the capital N, we're going to start down at the bottom, kind of across our body, and we're going to go straight up. Then we're going to do a diagonal and come back. So everybody practice writing their N. Straight up. Actually, I'm going to do it backwards for you. Straight up, diagonal this way, and then straight back up. Good job. For the lowercase n, we're going to start it up here at the top. We're going to go down, and then we kind of come back up our same line and around. So come down and back. All right. So on our worksheet right here, we're going to do a couple practices. So get your sheet out, get your pencil, make sure you're sitting feet flat on the ground, at a desk with your paper down. We're going to go straight up, then we do a diagonal down to the bottom line again, and then straight back up. Good job. And then for our lowercase n, we come down, and then I like to kind of come back up along that line so you don't lift your pencil and go back down. You could also go down and then just connect on your N. All right, go ahead and write a couple N's. All right, go ahead and put your papers down once you've written your N's. Next thing we're going to do is talk about our picture card. Every letter that we learn about, we're going to have a picture card. This helps you remember the sound that the word makes. So I'm going to give you a little clue. We always play a little game where I give you a little clue and you see if you can come up with the picture word. This picture is made up of twigs, grass, strings, and other materials. This is where a bird makes their home and lays their eggs. What do you think it is? Does anyone know? If you guessed a nest, you're right. So we're going to say nest, when we look at this picture card. Nest, Good job. All right, we'll help remember this card because every time we see it or every time we hear the word nest, we know nest. All righty. On your worksheet, you're going to see the number 1. Find it and put your finger on it right here. We're going to practice how I'm going to ask you to write down letters. I'm going to say the letter sound. I'm going to point at you. I want you to say it. Then you say, Then I'm going to hold my hand out like this. This is when I want you to say what the actual letter is that the sound is making. So we would say N. And then I'm going to go like this. And then I want you to write the N down on your paper wherever I've told you. So at this time it's going to be on number 1. So let's practice that. And you're going to say N. And then I want you to practice writing an N on the number 1 spot. Good job. All right. Moving on. Next, we're going to find number 2 on our worksheet. What is the initial sound that you hear at the beginning of this? This is a nest. Nest. I want you to write that letter down. And again, if at any time I move too fast, you can always pause the video and take the time to practice your letters. I want to be sure you're really writing those letter ends good, so if you need to pause it so you can take the time to write it out, that's totally fine. All right, number 3. What's it pointing at? His nose. Nose. So again, I want you to just write the N sound that you're hearing. All right, number 4. This one's a little tricky because it looks maybe like laying down or bedtime, but I think what they're talking about is what time did we lay down? Night. Night. So write that letter sound down there. N. This next one, you know what this is? It's a necklace. Necklace. Go ahead and write down the sound you're hearing there. Number 6, that's a net. Net. Go ahead and write that down. And number 7, neck. Like your neck. Neck. All right, go ahead and write that one down. All right, next, we're going to go to the back. This is where you're going to practice on your own. You're going to do what we did. You can see my letter N's I drew from the other side, but you're going to practice all capital N's, and then you're going to practice lowercase n's. And then you're going to go through and write the sound that you're hearing in all of these. I'm going to really quickly go over them with you so that you know what they are. This is a nurse, needle. Here we're pointing to the napkin, a newspaper. These are numbers and nails. All right, so go ahead and work on numbers 1 through 6 and writing your letters, and I will see you next time.